JIT and lean operations. So if you were able to download this and browse through this module, you should be familiar with our topic. So basically, walang masyadong computation to. It's more on learning a new concept and trying to find out where we can apply this new learning in the operations management in your major, which is HR major. And at the same time, later on, you will find out that this can be applied to any field that requires operations or any processes. So, having said that, tinan ko nga kung sino na yung mga nakapagbasa ng module. Kung in your own words, how would you describe a lean operations? Pag sinabi bang lean operations, what do we mean by this? What can we learn from a lean operation? What is a company that has lean operation? In a few words, in your own words, what is it? Can I hear from Jules alias? Jules alias, good afternoon. How are you? To find out.
Yes po.
So when we say lean operations, ano ibig sabihin nito? In your own words and understanding, ano ibig sabihin ng lean operations? Oh, may ubo ka. Hindi ka ba nilalagnat? Debiri lang. Sige, Jules, ano ang understanding mo sa lean operations?
Hindi ko pa po nabasa, sir.
Okay.
Kakauwi ko lang sa trabaho.
Okay. Pero nung Wednesday ko pa to in-upload ha. Just to be clear. Pero sige, sinong gustong tumulong kay Jules? Sinong gustong tumulong kay Jules sa Kolyado? Ikaw ba? O sige. Tulungan mo naman si Jules. Sige, sure. Ano ibig sabihin ng lean?
Sa akin kasi sir, nakafocus siya sa pag-provide ng greater customer satisfaction. Tapos, while using yung few resources.
Okay. Sabi mo, greater customer satisfaction while using fewer resources. So, for me, parang mas efficiency yung dinescribe mo. Pero, sige, pwede naman. Pero anyone else who would like to share their inputs on what lean operations is? Sino pang gustong mag-share? In your own words. I'm sure kung nabasa nyo na to, nakita nyo na yung definition. Pero I'd like you to give me your own understanding using your own words kung ano ba ibig sabihin ng lean operations. Sinong gustong magdagdag sa sinabi ni Colyado? Tingin ko gustong magdagdag ni Hayril Perenya. Hayril Perenya, good afternoon. Yes.
Good afternoon. Yung sa pagkakaintindi ko po, yung lean operation, ito po yung strategy na kung saan konti lang po yung ginagamit na materials to produce goods po, but nakakapag-produce po, but po yung satisfaction po nabibigay po nila.
Okay, so parang parehas lang din ang sinabi ni Colyado yung sinabi ni Perenya. Ang sabi niya, magbibigay ng customer satisfaction using konting resources. Pero I'd like you to focus on this definition of lean operations. Pag sinabi kasi na lean operations, ibig sabihin, flexible yung system na pwedeng kahit na konti lang yung ginagamit natin na resources, high quality pa rin yung goods and services na binibigay natin. So, kapatid or kakambal ng lean operations yung JIT or just in time. Just in time, from the word itself, ibig sabihin, highly coordinated processing system in which goods move through the system and services are performed. Ito yung importanteng term, as they are needed. Okay, ulitin ko. Just in time is a highly coordinated processing system in which goods move through the system and services are performed just as they are needed. So kaya magkapatid itong JIT and lean operations kasi yung concept ng just in time, ibig sabihin, darating lang yung services, gagawin mo lang yung processes kung kailan siya kailangan para maging available yung products or services kung kailan din siya kailangan ng customer. Thus, minimal lang yung resources na ginagamit natin, walang sayang, walang waste, and then we produce high quality goods or services. So for this afternoon, we'll be discussing this concept of lean operations and JIT. So if you will research online, Google, kung ano ibig sabihin ng JIT and lean operations, you will all find out that this all started through the company Toyota. Sila ang nagpaumpisa nitoong JIT and lean operations. And this Toyota approach will be the approach that we will be discussing for the entire duration of this topic. So, to begin, pag-uusapan natin kung ano yung mga terms na ginagamit ng Japanese company ng Toyota about lean operations. So, ito sa screen niyo makikita nyo yung ibang mga terminologies. So, sabi dito, MUDA. Yung MUDA daw, ibig sabihin waste and inefficiency. So, by the definition itself, waste and inefficiency, yung MUDA, yung aalisin natin sa process natin para mas mapabilis yung isang buong proseso. Aalisin yung mga MUDA para mas konti yung resources na gagamitin pero high quality products and services yung output. Pull system. Ano ba tong pull system? We replace the materials or the parts based only on demand and we produce only what is needed. So para mas makatipid, walang masyadong MUDA, kailangan kukunin mo lang yung materials, papalitan mo lang yung materials kung kailangan. Next terminology would be Kanban. This is a manual system used for controlling the movement of parts and materials that responds to signals of the need or demand for delivery of products or for delivery of parts or materials. So Kanban, Kanban system, gumagamit ito ng mga cards. So later, pag-uusapan natin kung ano ba yung mga signal cards na sinasabi natin. Another term would be Heijunka. Heijunka, this means that the workload must be leveled. Volume and variety must be averaged to achieve a steady flow of work. Ibig sabihin, walang masyadong differences. Pantay-pantay lahat. So, if you are familiar with the Japanese culture, you will find out na sila talaga napaka-OC. Lahat pare-pareho, lahat pantay-pantay. So these terminologies basically reflects, aside from lean operations, it reflects the culture of the Japanese na masyado sila talagang gusto nila efficient, gusto nila konti lang ang waste, gusto nila maayos at pare-parehas lahat. Aside from those terminologies, may mga iba pa tayong Japanese terms like Kaizen. Pag sinabing Kaizen, it means continuous improvement of the system. We'll discuss this further later on. May another term, Jidoka, quality at the source. A machine automatically stops when it detects a bad part. A worker then stops the line. Ang tawag dito, automation. So iba siya dun sa automation ha. Pag automation, ibig sabihin, kapag nagkaroon ng defect, kahit saan, ititigil yung process. Kasi kung hindi mo tinigil ang process, pag nagkaroon ng defect somewhere along the way, yung output mo definitely is magkakaroon din ng defect. And to avoid that at mabawasan yung defect, moving along the assembly line, tatapusin mo na agad siya. And then the last concept or terminology important for lean operations is of course the team concept. So dapat palaging may team. Use of small teams of workers for process improvement. Ito rin yung reason bakit yung mga subjects na tinuturo ko sa inyo and other subjects ng business courses, palaging merong groupings, palaging merong teams. Kasi very important for a business course, for any organization na merong teams na nag-handle ng particular task. Kasi, well, cliche as it may, palaging sinasabi, there's no I in team. And then teamwork makes the dream work, yung mga ganong cliche. So, ibig sabihin lang nun is, sa isang team kasi, maraming inputs na pwedeng ibigay ang lahat ng mga members. So, pag isa ka lang kasi, konti, kung ano lang yung understanding mo, kung ano lang yung knowledge mo, limited yung information na mabibigay mo based on your own personal limitations. But kapag meron kang teams, mas maraming inputs na pwedeng ibigay. Okay, so those are the terminologies that we will be passing by as we discuss lean operations and JIT this afternoon. But to continue on, JIT and lean operations' ultimate goal is to achieve a system that matches supply to customer demand. Supply is synchronized to meet customer demand in a smooth, uninterrupted flow. So tuloy-tuloy lang ang process ng conversion from the supply to the customers, and sinisigurado nila na match yung supply sa customer demand. Walang nasasayang, dire-diretso ang process. So yun yung overall goal, ultimate goal ng lean operations. So to illustrate, here's a graph showing you the overview of the goals of the lean operations and the building blocks of lean systems. So ayan nga, sabi natin, ultimate goal is a balanced, rapid flow. Mabilis pero balanse. And then there are supporting goals para makuha natin yung ultimate goal natin na yan. So that kasama sa mga supporting goals would be eliminate disruptions, make the system flexible, and then eliminate waste. And then of course, meron tayong mga building blocks. So building blocks would be the foundation on how we are going to achieve our supporting goals and then our ultimate goals. Sige, re-replyan ko lang sandali si classmate natin dahil meron daw siyang emergency. Okay. So to continue on, so alam na natin kung ano ang ultimate goal ng lean operations. Ano nga ulit ang ultimate goal ng lean operations para lang malinaw sa lahat? Keiko Walde. Okay, ulit nga sa class kung ano ang ultimate goal ng lean operations. Keiko. Pwede ka sumasagot. Yan. Ano nga ang ultimate goal ng lean operations?
Yung ultimate goal niya po is yung mabilis po na gawa pero balance pa rin po siya.
Okay, tama. Mabilis, smooth yung flow ng operations pero balance yung supply sa customer demand. Okay, so kung yun ang ultimate goal, ito naman ang ating mga supporting goals. So para ma-achieve natin yung gusto natin na smooth process flow, balance supply and demand, kailangan alisin natin yung mga disruption. Kailangan gawin natin flexible yung system. Flexible meaning it is able to handle a mix of products and handle changes in the level of output while still maintaining balance and throughput speed. Ibig sabihin, pwede tayo magpalit-palit ng products, magpalit-palit ng level ng output. Kung 100 lang ngayon, gagawin natin 200 bukas, balik 100 kinabukasan, pero hindi naapektuhan yung balance and throughput speed. So, ibig sabihin, flexible yung system natin kung ano mang changes yung gawin natin. And then lastly, eliminate waste. Later on, I will define what waste means dito sa ating lean operations. But more often than not, ang pinaka sinasabi dito na waste is yung excess inventory. Kasi kapag sabi, kagaya nga na pinag-usapan natin last week or a few weeks ago, excess inventory is okay, but it will incur costs. So kung naaalala nyo pa, ano nga yung mga cost ng excess inventory? Nakalimutan na siguro. Sige, tanongin natin si Jules Alias para makabawi. Ano nga yung mga cost incurred ng excess inventory? Jules? Mukhang wala ulit si Jules ha. Sino gusto ulit tumulong kay Jules? Last week na rin ito pinag-usapan. Last week nga ba? Oo, last week. Pinag-usapan natin ang inventory management. So ano nga yung mga cost incurred sa inventory? Tanongin nga natin si Lavella Delantar. Lavella Delantar. Ano yung mga cost of inventory? Nako, patay. Walang gusto sumagot Talangin natin si... May narinig akong nagpiping, pero hindi ko naman makita kung may message. Sino gusto sumagot sa atin?
Ako po, sir.
Sige, Cristel Lobos. Ano nga yung mga cost of inventory, excess inventory in particular?
Purchase cost po.
Purchasing cost, okay. Ano pa? Kapag nakuha mo na yung inventory tapos may sobra nilagay mo sa warehouse, ano ang cost may incur nun? Anong tawag dun sa cost na
Holding
yon?
cost po.
Holding cost. Thank you very much. Thank you. Very good. And kung halimbawa naman, order ka ng order. Kasi ayaw mo magkaroon ng holding cost dahil gusto mo, sakto lang yun nandun. Pero ang dalas mong umorder, anong tawag sa cost na yun?
Ordering cost.
Ordering cost. Very good. Okay, so connected yan, yung mga cost ng inventory dito sa ating supporting goal sa lean operations. Kasi sabi nga natin, kailangan natin i-eliminate yung mga waste because may cost to para sa atin and then nakaka-apekto to sa aim natin na smooth flow of operations. So, some waste would include unproductive resources. And then, kapag daw tinanggal natin yung mga waste, ibig sabihin, ma-free up yung mga resources natin and mas magiging okay yung flow of production. Ano ba yung mga waste? Ito yung sabi ko na i-define natin. Pag sinabi kasing waste, ito yung mga sayang dahil sobra-sobra. So, una yung inventaryo. Kung sobrang dami nating inventaryo, masikip ang warehouse. Tapos, mayroong holding cost, may ordering cost, tapos yung inventory natin, sayang. Kasi imbis na nagiging pera na, nandyan lang naka-imbak sa ating warehouse. Overproduction, bakit kaya siya consider na waste? Tanungin nga natin si Aika Graho. Aika Graho, another example of waste is overproduction. Bakit kaya consider na waste ang overproduction?
Kasi po sir, parang yung na-discuss nyo nga po last week, di ba po, pag sobrang dami ng, kunwari nakapag-produce na sila, tapos sobrang dami kesa sa demand, parang matitenga lang po siya and magkakos po yun ng holding cost or magpapasikip lang din po sa warehouse nila.
Okay, very good. Talongin naman natin si Harap, Remalin Harap. Bakit kaya naging source of waste ang waiting time? Waiting time, bakit kaya siya naging cost of waste? Source of waste. Remalin. Ano?
Kasi po nagiging sayang po siya sa oras ng...
Sige, tuloy. Halimbawa, pumunta ka sa isang parlor, pipila ka para magpagupit. Ang haba ng pila, ang tagal naghihintay ng mga customer.
Ayun nga po. Parang pag yung may waiting time, para sayang po yung sanang oras na may income na yon.
Okay, thank you. Very good si Remalin. So tama, income na sana yon, yung waiting time plus kung mag-iisip ka talaga, sayang yung space dahil masyadong madami naghihintay. Secondly, kung may iba ka pang customer, pag nakita nila na ang dami naghihintay doon sa loob, baka hindi na sila tumuloy, so lost opportunity. Sino tong the wish list pala? Sorry, bigla ko na lang in-accept. May pumasok sa room natin, ang pangalan ay wish list. Kilala niyo yun? Kung sino yun? Hindi niyo kilala. Sorry, bigla ko na lang siyang in-accept. Sino si wish list? Who are you? Hello, Wisklist? Okay. Ayaw mo sumagot. Remove. Okay. Okay, so yun nga, sabi natin, waiting time, it's also a form of waste. Kasi naghihintay, tapos masikip yung space, pero wala naman tayong kinikita dahil nakatambay lang sila doon. Sayang lang sila sa pagpapa-aircon. Nakiki-aircon lang sila doon sa parlor natin kung naghihintay lang din sila doon. Unnecessary transporting, it's another source of waste. Kasi kung palipat-lipat, pabalik-balik yung palipat-lipat ng mga, si Nix pala. Okay. Nix Rico Hermoso. Wait lang. Sorry, sali ka na ulit. Okay, so unnecessary transporting is also a form of waste. Kasi pag pabalik-balik, sayang yung travel, sayang yung gasolina na ginagamit sa pag-transport, palipat-lipat. Then processing waste, yung mga scrap material. Kung masyadong madaming nasayang na scrap material, waste din yun, of course. Inefficient work methods, yung work methods parang masyadong matagal bago makapag-finish na isang product or service, sayang din yon. And then, of course, product defects. Bakit siya naging isang waste? Kasi kung meron kang defect, di syempre yung warranty mo, magagastusan ka sa warranty, or kung walang warranty, yung pag-rework ng product na nagkaroon ng defect, syempre magastos din yun. And then, probably magkakaroon ka ng lost sales due to customer dissatisfaction. Okay, so those are the sources of waste that we aim to eliminate as one of our supporting goals. So sabi natin, diba, gusto natin mawala yung mga waste. So kung gusto nating magkaroon tayo ng lean operations, kailangan alisin natin itong mga ito. Hindi lang basta bawasan, alisin. Alisin itong mga sources of waste na to, excess inventory, overproduction, excess waiting time, unnecessary transporting. Ito yung mga dapat nating inaalis para maging leaner yung ating operations. So now we discuss, before I proceed pala, any questions? Meron ba kayong question? Any clarification? Or malinaw yung definition ng lean operations, its goal, and sources of waste? Malinaw ba? Walang question?
Malinaw po.
Malinaw. Pero yung boses mo parang antok na, no? Alas 3 kasi ng hapon, ang sarap matulog eh. Every Saturday lang naman, hayaan mo na. At saka pala, case number 7 na tayo ngayon, di ba? So, ibig sabihin, isang case na lang, tapos na yung mga case submission, discuss, quiz, tapos maghihintay na lang tayo ng finals, tapos ayun, tapos na yung subject. Kung naipasa yung subject. Kung hindi naipasa yung subject, edi ulit-ulit next sem. Ganun lang naman yun. Pero hindi, mukhang okay naman kayo so far. So, ituloy nyo lang kung ano man yung magandang bagay na ginagawa nyo ngayon. Okay, so earlier, we've defined the term Kaizen. So, ano nga ulit ang ibig sabihin ng Kaizen? Ayan, nasa harap po, anyone? Ano ibig sabihin ng Kaizen?
Change for the better.
Change for the better. So, ibig sabihin, pwede natin gamitin sa sarili natin to. Kung medyo nahihirapan tayo o nagkaroon tayo ng problema ng mga nakalipas na panahon, pwede natin sabihin yung Kaizen because I want to change for the better. In Japanese business philosophy, ang ibig sabihin naman ng Kaizen is continuous improvement of the operations and involvement of all employees. So question, bakit kaya kailangan i-involve ang mga employees sa isang Kaizen? So sabi natin, di ba, Kaizen is change for the better. In business philosophy, ang ibig sabihin ng Kaizen is continuous improvement of operations and involvement of all employees. Bakit kailangan involved ang mga employees? Emma Rose, Santander. Bakit? Hindi. Sorry. Sige, nagtaas ng kamay si Yvonne Ramos. Yvonne Ramos, bakit kaya kailangan involved?
Yes po. As a former production operator po.
Alright.
Kailangan po i-involve yung employees kasi sila po yung mas nakakaalam sa process kung anong pwedeng i-improve dun po sa process nila para mas mapadali po.
Very good, very good. And thank you for mentioning that you are a former productions operator or member. So, ibig sabihin, alam mo talaga from experience na ang involvement of all employees is very important. Kasi sila ang humaharap first hand dun sa actual machine. Sila ang gumagawa ng actual operations. So, although yung mga managers, senior managers, and the owners would have an idea kung paano yung overall process, yung nitty-gritty and the details of the entire operation, hindi nila alam. Ang nakakaalam ay yung mga employees. In the same way, kung meron kang gustong gawin sa upper management o yung mga owners, pero hindi mo siya ikakascade at kukuha ka ng commitment sa lahat ng employees, hindi mo rin magagawa kung ano ang gusto mong mangyari. Dahil kung nasa taas lang ang may gusto niya at hindi siya mabababa, hindi siya magta-transcend down to the lowest level, lowest ranking employee, hindi ka magsasaksi. So for us to achieve the Japanese business philosophy of Kaizen, which is to continuously improve operations, we have to involve all employees and make them understand this philosophies, 10 philosophies that is needed in a Kaizen. So sabi natin dito, waste is the enemy. And to eliminate waste, it is necessary to get the hands dirty. So ibig sabihin lang nito, hindi literal na magiging madumi ang kamay. Ibig sabihin, mahirap gawin. Mahirap tanggalin yung waste. Dahil kadalasan, nakasanayan na, o kaya meron tayong ibang mababangga na department, may ibang mababangga na mga upper management, for example. That's why, for us to eliminate this waste, we need to get our hands dirty because waste is the enemy. Kalaban yan, di ba? Secondly, improvement should be done gradually and continuously, not big improvements done intermittently. Ang importante dito, class, is consistency. Hindi pa pwedeng ningas ugod. Hindi pa pwedeng kung kailan mo lang gusto, tsaka ka mag-i-improve. Hindi pwedeng mag-i-improve ka sa start, tatama rin na sa huli. O kaya, ay, magpapa-under na lang ako sa bandang huli. Hindi pa pwedeng ganon. Kailangan gradual, unti-unti yung improvement, and continuous, hindi tumitigil. And then, as mentioned earlier by Ms. Yvonne Ramos, everyone should be involved. From top managers to middle managers to workers. Kung meron kang security guard, janitor, kailangan involved din sila. Hindi ako nagbibiro, as in kailangan down to the janitors, sa mga cleaners, kung sino man yung mga lahat ng employees, dapat kasama siya. Like for example, kung kami sa bangko, magkakaroon kami ng Kaizen philosophy, hindi pa pwedeng hanggang teller lang. Kailangan hanggang mga gwardya. Kasi yung mga gwardya yung nag-good morning sa mga employees, sa mga customers namin, di ba? So kung gagawa kami ng Kaizen philosophy, ng lean operations, kailangan lahat, including yung mga guards, kasama. So isang kwento lang, ayoko na pala kasi recorded to, pero ang gusto kong ikwento is, kung mapapansin nyo, yung mga guards ng mga bangko, lahat sila mukhang presentable. Hindi man sobrang pogi, pero kailangan mukhang malinis, mukhang hindi gagawa na masama, mukhang presentable. Unlike dun sa ibang mga mga establishments, na yung ibang mga guards ay hindi masyadong presentable. Hindi ko sasabihin kung aling establishment. Pero kung i-compare mo siya sa mga security guards ng mga bangko, any banks, lahat ng mga bangko, ang mga security guards niyan ay presentable at mukhang mababait, malilinis. Kasi magalang. Kasi yun ang gusto nating image na ipakita sa ating mga customers as a bank. So bakit ko ba ito sinabi? Because sabi ko nga, everyone should be involved. From top to bottom. From top to bottom. Okay, so Kaizen is also built on cheap strategy. So ano ibig sabihin nito? Hindi porke sinabi natin na gagawa tayo ng lean operations, gagastos na tayo ng malaki. Hindi natin kailangan lang gumastos ng malaki sa mga consultant o sa mga technology. Kailangan lang natin matutunan itong mga concepts na pag-aaralan natin today and then apply it on our own. Pwede yun. Unfortunately, sabi nga natin sa number 1, we need to get our hands dirty. So marami tayong mababangga. Pero tatandaan palagi, waste is the enemy. Hindi ang ating mga office mate, hindi ang mga boss o ibang tao na involved. Waste is our enemy. And then sabi nga natin, this philosophy can be applied anywhere. And it is also supported by a visual system, total transparency of procedures, processes, and values, making problems and waste visible to all. So, kaya tayo may Kanban card system na pinag-usapan natin kanina kasi kailangan visual yung representation ng ginagawa natin para makita kung saan merong waste, saan pwedeng magkaroon pa ng continuous improvement. So another concept here in Kaizen philosophy is that it focuses the attention on where value is created. Doon lang tayo sa may binibigay na halaga sa business. Kung hindi naman nagbibigay ng value, alisin. Because most probably, this is a waste and waste is our enemy. Kaizen philosophy is also process-oriented. So kapag ang in-improve kasi natin yung process, nagkaroon tayo ng smooth flow of operations, balance ang demand at saka supplies, that's when we achieve leaner operations. And then the last two would be, it stresses that the main effort of improvement should come from new thinking and a new work style. So new thinking and new work style. Hindi kailangan gumastos. New thinking and new work style. And then of course, the essence of organizational learning is to learn while doing. Okay, so those are our supporting goals to our ultimate goal of achieving lean operations. And then yung mga susunod na slide naman, pag-uusapan natin yung building blocks. So the design and operation of a lean system provide the foundation for accomplishing the goals that we've discussed earlier. So our building blocks or the foundations for us to achieve these linear operations would be, number one, product design. Pinag-usapan na natin in our earlier chapter. Second is process design. We've also discussed this in the earlier chapter. And then ito yung pinaka-importante because you are HRD majors, personnel and organizational elements. And then lastly, manufacturing planning and control. Speed and simplicity are two common threads that run through these building blocks. So pinaka-importante, mabilis, simple lang. So kung kagaya kayo ni Ms. Yvonne na nagkaroon ng experience sa isang operations, lalo na kung nakapag-work kayo sa isang Japanese company, you will realize na itong mga companies na to talagang ini-embrace nila yung lean operations. Kung sakaling magiging HR staff kayo or HR manager or officer sa isang Japanese company, marami kayong matutunan. Ako, wala akong personal first-hand experience sa isang Japanese company because I've never worked with one. But I've had clients dito sa EPSA at saka sa FCIE na mga Japanese companies, even sa Laguna, doon sa Calamba. Iba talaga ang concept nila. As in yung mga tables ng mga employees, ng mga staff, even the accounting people, sobrang ayos. Hindi kalat-kalat yung mga papel. Kasi nga, gusto nilang i-eliminate ang waste because waste is the enemy. And then continuous improvement from top to bottom. Okay, elements of product design. So I'll leave this up to you to read. So basta the elements of product design would be standard parts, modular design, highly capable production systems with quality built-in, and concurrent engineering. So ito lang yung mga elements of product design that we have to support our objective of achieving leaner operations. Aspects of process design would be to have small lot sizes. So kung maaalala nyo last week or 2 weeks ago, pinag-usapan natin yung lot sizes sa ating MRP and aggregate planning. So sa lean operations, kailangan maliliit lang yung lot sizes. Gusto kong tanungin, bakit kaya? Bakit kaya maliit lang ang lot sizes pag sa lean operations? Tanungin natin si Kimberly. Kimberly, bakit kaya isa sa mga important aspect ng process design ang small lot sizes?
Ano po sir, para po sa akin, importante po na small lot sizes lang po kasi para maging sakto lang po sir, kumbaga kapag sobrang lawak po is parang makaka-aksaya lang po siya ng space.
Tama yung sagot ni Kimberly Shockson. Kasi ang objective nga natin sa lean operations, di ba? Smooth yung flow, eliminate yung waste, balance yung supply and demand. So para walang masyadong excess, importante sa ating process design is yung small lang yung lot sizes natin. Ganon din yung ibang mga aspects na nandyan sa harapan ninyo. Yung setup time reduction, kailangan konti lang. Manufacturing cells para buklod-buklod, sama-sama yung mga magkakagrupo, similar processes. Quality improvement, production flexibility. So yan yung mga kailangan nating i-consider na aspects of process design. Next, ito pala, yung benefit of small lot sizes na pinag-usapan natin kanina. So pag small ang lot sizes, reduce inventory, lower carrying costs, lesser space to store inventory, less rework if defects occur. So ayan. Self-explanatory naman yung mga benefits ng small lot sizes. Pero kung meron kayong question, hindi nyo maintindihan kung ano ba yung terminology na yon, you can always ask me, but I'm sure you can always ask Google. Pero check nyo lang kung tama ba yung source para hindi naman kayo maligaw. Okay, so speaking of lot sizes, meron tayong tinatawag na single minute exchange of die or SMID. Pag sinabing SMID, this is a system for reducing change over time. So sabi natin kasi kanina, diba, one aspect of process design is to set up time reduction. So with SMID, we aim to reduce na change over time. Yung kapag meron ka kasing machine, tapos magpapalit ka ng product na ginagawa or mag-i-increase ka ng production, merong change over na ginagawa dun sa machine na yon. With lean operations and SMID, we wanted to reduce this change over time. Meron dalawang changeover activities, internal and external. So internal activities, these are activities that can only be done while the machine is stopped. So kung hindi ginagamit yung machine at kailangan ng changeover, internal ang tawag doon. Kapag naman yung activity does not require us to stop the machine from functioning, those are external changeover activities. Para maka-achieve tayo ng quick changeover, para mapabilis ang changeover, we need to convert as many internal activities as possible to external activities and streamline the remaining internal activities. Bakit kaya? Bakit kaya kailangan i-convert ang mga internal to external para magkaroon tayo ng quick changeover? So, tanongin nga natin yung accidentally inalis ko, si Marie Nicole. Marie Nicole, good afternoon. Marie Nicole Rico Hermoso. Bakit nga kaya natin kailangan na i-convert yung mga internal changeover activities to external activities?
Ulit nga,
Why?
sir. Masyadong ano yung wifi namin.
Bakit? Bakit kailangan i-convert ang internal activities to external activities para mapabilis ang changeover? Bakit kaya?
Ano, sir? Sa tingin ko po, ano sir, para mas madali po yung pag-change over po ng mga activities. Para ano.
Okay.
Kasi po yung machine po, hindi po siya natitigil. Kumbaga po, patuloy po siyang gumagana. Kung internal lang po.
Okay, thank you, Marie. Thank you, tama yung sagot niya. Sabi kasi niya, kailangan daw i-convert ang internal activities as to external activities para mas mabilis yung changeover kasi yung mga external activities, hindi kailangan nakastop ang machine. So, diba? So, ang mga internal activities kasi kailangan nakastop yung machine. So, ibig sabihin, magtitigil ka pa ng production para lang makapag-change over. So, ang objective natin is ang objective ng SMID or Single Minute Exchange of Die would be to convert as many internal activities as possible to external activities. Okay? Naintindihan yung concept na ito? Okay, so another guideline for increasing production flexibility. So, pakibasa na lang din to because these are, again, self-explanatory. So, some of the guidelines would be to reduce changeover time, sabi nga natin, use preventive maintenance para hindi tayo paulit-ulit na nasisiraan ng machine, cross-train workers so that all of our workers are familiar with as much activities or processes as possible para kapag merong mga nag-absent o kaya nagkaroon ng pagkukulang sa employees, at least we can get other employees to do the other functions na hindi sa kanya. And then, it is recommended that we use many small units of capacity para mas mabilis tayo makakapagpalit ng capacity kung sakali mag-change ng product o mag-increase ng production. Then, use offline buffers. So, ano ba to? Mag-store daw tayo ng safety stock away from the production area. Kaya siya offline. Para maiwasan yung congestion o masikip na area and to avoid continually turning it over. So, dapat ilalayo natin siya doon sa production para hindi siya masyado nag-occupy ng space. And then, we need to reserve capacity for important customers. Kasi of course, ayaw natin magkaroon ng customer dissatisfaction at any moment in time, but we don't want to dissatisfy our very important customers. That's why we need to reserve capacity for them. Another concept that I'd like to introduce would be quality improvement or yung JIDOKA na pinag-usapan natin kanina, yung automation. Sabi dito, automatic detection of defects during production. So production pa lang, kapag mayroong defects, kailangan nakikita na natin agad. Kasi kung tatapusin mo pa yung product bago mo makita yung defect, mas magastos, as mas matagal, uulitin mo yung buong proseso. So parang, remember this phrase na natutunan ko sa isa sa mga visits ko sa mga clients ko na Japanese companies. Doing it right the first time. Yun yung sinasabi ng automation. So do it right the first time. Parang ganon, yung, hindi ko alam kung ganon yung eksakto, pero yun yung essence ng ating message. Doing it right the first time. Okay, so ano ba yung balance system na kanina pa natin pinag-uusapan? So of course, ibabalance natin yung supply sa demand, but more importantly, we have to distribute the workload evenly among workstations. Kailangan lahat magkakapantay yung level ng work na ginagawa bawat workstation. Hindi pa pwedeng mas madami yung ginagawang trabaho ng isa compared dun sa isa dahil magkakaroon naman tayo ng bottleneck. So, gusto nga natin smooth operations, di ba? Kaya, kailangan meron tayong balance system, which means distributing the workload evenly nga. Work assigned to each workstation must be less than or equal to the cycle time. Pinag-usapan na natin to nung nagde-design tayo ng layout, di ba? So, kailangan yung work is less than or equal to the cycle time. Hindi pa pwedeng masyadong matagal or masyadong mabilis kasi masyadong namang may mga idle time. And then, pag sinabing cycle time, it is set equal to the takt time. Ano ba yung takt time? T-A-K-T. Takt time is the cycle time needed to match customer demand for final product. Again, takt time is the cycle time needed to match customer demand for final product. So, ano ba itong takt time? Let's illustrate. So, for example, we are given the following information and asked to compute the takt time. So, meron daw total time per shift. Total time per shift is 480 minutes per day. Tapos, merong dalawang shift per day. There are 2 20-minute rest breaks and a 30-minute lunch break per shift. Daily demand is 80 units. So, let's compute for the takt time. Again, takt time is the cycle time needed to match customer demand for final product. Okay, sabi dito, compute net time available per shift. So, una natin i-compute, of course, is kung ilan ba yung oras na available sa atin. Ilan ba yung dapat nating, ilan yung available na working hours. Ang ingay na itong kasama ko. ilan yung working hours available sa isang shift. So sabi dito, total time is 480 minutes. Rest breaks is 40 minutes. Bakit naging 40 minutes? Because there are 2 20-minute breaks. And then, of course, yung lunch break ay isasama natin. Lunch break is 30 minutes. So we will deduct ito the total time, yung total shift nila, 480 minus 40 minus 30 equals 410 minutes. Okay. And then next, pag nakuha na natin yung total time available, we multiply it by 2 kasi dalawa yung shift, di ba? So 410 times 2 equals 820 minutes per day. Once we have this net time available per day, we will then compute for the takt time. The takt time is the net available per day, net time available per day divided by the daily demand. So sabi kanina, sa given natin daily demand is 80 units per day, with 820 minutes per day divided by 80 units per day, our takt time is 10.25 minutes per cycle. So yung 10.25 minutes per cycle, ito yung cycle time that we need to match the customer demand. So, ibig sabihin, per product, 10.25 minutes yung ginugoogle natin per cycle. Malinaw kung ano ang tack time at paano na-compute ang tack time? Or any questions kung meron kayong clarifications? Walang question? So kung walang question, I'll proceed to the next topic or concept at hand, which is the elements of personnel and organization. So I'm sure kung nagkaroon na kayo ng mga major subjects sa HR ninyo, aware na kayo dito. But we'd like to reiterate that this subject is not only for operations majors. Kasi yung HR majors may malaking contribution din sa operations. So number one element, workers are our assets. Ibig sabihin, itong mga trabahador natin, hindi sila parang mga chess pieces lang na utos-utusan. These are our assets. And it's important, as I've said earlier, for us to cross-train our workers so that they can perform several parts of a process at any point in time and operate a variety of machines. Iba-ibang machines kaya nilang i-operate. And then, continuous improvement. Kanina pa natin sila sabi. So, kailangan palagi nang i-improve ang lahat ng mga members ng organization. And then, there's a concept called cost accounting. Hindi ko alam kung meron kayong ganitong subject. Ang other term dito is managerial accounting or management accounting. But cost accounting means yung mga activities na ginagawa natin sa isang production, nag-allocate tayo ng cost or kung magkano yung expenses per activity para malaman natin kung alin ba dito yung mga cost na nagdadagdag ng value sa ating product or services at alin yung hindi naman or waste lang. And then of course, as members of the HR, kailangan meron kayo palaging leadership or project management training na ginagawa sa mga supervisors or sa mga middle managers because managers are expected to be leaders and facilitators, not order givers. Hindi boss lang sila. Dapat leader sila, dapat nasa isip nila kung ano ba ang overall objective at paano mai-improve yung buong proseso. Hindi yung kapag intusan sila ng immediate superior nila, itatalbog at ibabato lang nila doon sa susunod nilang tao. Hindi ganun ang tamang leader or isang head. Kailangan facilitator sila para gumalaw yung company, hindi yung pasa lang ng pasa. So you will find this out kapag nasa workplace na kayo. So dapat alam nyo na kapag naging leader kayo ng isang department, ng isang company, alam nyo na dapat kung ano ang ginagawa. Other elements of manufacturing planning and control, ito yung mga pinag-usapan natin kayo na level loading, pull systems, visual systems, yung Kanban system, ito yung may cards na pinapakita para lang makita kung ano ba yung lugar na yun. Kung importante ba yung process na ginagawa doon sa location na yun, sa workplace na yun, sa work area na yun, para lang merong identifier. Kasi kapag lean manufacturing or lean operations, mas lamang yung visual representation ng buong process. Kaya may Kanban. And then of course, we wanted to limit work in process. Yung mga nakatenga na hindi pa tapos na products, kailangan limited lang siya. And then we wanted to have close vendor relationships, reduce transaction processing, and then of course, preventive maintenance and housekeeping. So pag-uusapan natin in detail yung preventive maintenance and housekeeping later on. But first, we'll differentiate muna yung pull system and push system. So this is good to know. So pull system, this is a system for moving work where a workstation pulls output from the preceding station as needed. Example, yung Kanban. So, kung pag may nakita ka doon na card na parang, okay, so tapos na daw pala yung process nila doon sa ganong step 1, kukunin mo na yung natapos nila para gawin mo na siya sa cubicle mo. Kung ano na yung process na gagawin mo. Kung baga ikaw yung step 2, ikukunin mo sa step 1 yung natapos na nila based dun sa Kanban card na makikita mo. Pag naman push system, this is a system for moving work where output is pushed. System for moving work where output is pushed to the next station as it is completed. Ito naman, baliktad. So, magpupush ka. Ibibigay mo sa kanya na, okay, ito na, gawin mo na. Kapag pull, ikaw yung kukuha. Tapos na ba yan? Kunin ko na yan. Kapag naman push system, okay, ito na, tapos na. So, ganun lang kasimple yung difference ng dalawa. So, ito yung Kanban na kanina pa natin sinasabi. Pag sinabing Kanban, this is a card or other device that communicates demand for work or materials from the preceding station. So, kung parang pang-pull system siya. Kanban is the Japanese word meaning signal or visible record. This is a paperless production control system. So, wala masyadong paper na chine-check, wala masyadong paper na pinipirmahan because everything is visual. We are relying on signals. And then, authority to pull or produce comes from a downstream process. So, dahil downstream yung process nila, pwedeng gawin yung pull strategy na pinag-usapan natin earlier. Limited work in process. Okay, so pakibasa na lang kung ano yung mga benefit. I'm sure alam niyo na kung ano yung benefit ng limited work in process. Number 1 would be bababa yung cost kasi walang masyadong nakatenggang work in process. So paano magkaroon ng limited work in process? Kanban, pinag-usapan natin kanina, and then constant work in process. Ibig sabihin, hindi ka tumitigil kahit hindi mo nakukumpleto para wala kang masyadong work in process o ongoing na product development. Close vendor relationship. Ano ba yung sinasabi dito? Ibig sabihin lang dito, namimili ka ng supplier na pwede mo maging partner doon sa buong production mo. Hindi yung paiba-iba ka ng supplier. Dahil kapag paiba-iba ka ng supplier, baka hindi mo achieve yung balance at saka just in time na gusto mong mangyari. So, kailangan maka-develop ka ng close relationship sa mga supplier para nandyan yung mga requirements mo as needed. Hindi yung sobra-sobra at hindi rin kulang. Preventive maintenance and housekeeping. So ito yung sinasabi ko kanina na ang linis ng mga desk ng mga offices sa isang Japanese company kasi sumusunod sila doon sa 5S. Familiar ba kayo doon sa 5S? Anyone na familiar sa 5S?
Yes.
Yes, si Yvonne, of course. Kasi si Yvonne ay nagtrabaho na sa isang production company. Si Shokso, nakita ko nagbukas ng mic. Familiar ka rin ba sa 5S?
Yes po.
Saan mo nakuha yung concept ng 5S?
Sa work immersion po namin.
Sa work immersion. Very good. Okay, so buti naman, familiar na tayo sa 5S. So, dun sa mga hindi pa familiar, 5S is a housekeeping technique. Ang ibig sabihin ng 5S, sort, straighten, sweep, standardize, and self-discipline. So sort, ibig sabihin, yung mga items na nandyan sa harapan mo, dapat ay yung mga items na kailangan mo lang para makumpleto mo yung trabaho mo. Pag hindi mo siya kailangan sa trabaho, alisin. Straighten, kailangan i-organize natin yung workplace natin para lahat ng mga requirements natin madaling makuha. Hindi yung hahanapin mo pa. Third, sweep. Kailangan laging malinis ang ating desk, ang ating opisina, everyday para nakakagawa tayo ng maayos ng trabaho. Standardize. Kailangan kapag merong instruction, susundin lahat down to the last detail. At dapat pare-parehas ang instruction across the entire office. And then lastly, self-discipline. Kailangan lahat ng mga employees naiintindihan na importante na malinis ang workplace para maalis yung mga waste, para mas smoother yung operations, and para rin hindi tayo makaiwas tayo sa mga aksidente. Kasi usually yung mga aksidente nangyayari siya kapag masyadong cluttered yung ating workplace. Okay, so tama ba yung sinabi kong 5S, Shokson? Ito ba yung 5S na natutunan mo sa work immersion?
Yes po, sir. Tapos, kasama rin po yung Japanese term.
Ano yung Japanese term mo sa 5S? Di ko na siya
Yung
sinama. Pero sige, please share with us.
Yung Seiri, di ko po alam sort po ata yun. Tapos Seiton, Seiso, Seiketsu, and Shitsuke.
Correct. Actually, yun talaga yung original na 5S kasi nanggaling naman to sa Japanese culture, di ba? Kinonvert lang natin siya sa English para mas maintindihan nung kinonvert ng book sa English kasi ang target market niya ay mga English-speaking students. But yung original na 5S are Japanese terms na nagsisimula sa S. So more or less, ito rin yun. So para sa atin, ito lang yung tandaan natin kaysa yung shoots, hindi ko alam. Kasi yung mga yun. Okay, so now we go on to the concept value stream mapping. So ano bang ang importansya ng value stream mapping? Of course, pag sinabing value stream mapping, we wanted our business processes to be smooth. We wanted to have systematic flow of materials and information in bringing the product or service to customers. Kasi normally, kapag busy na tayo sa trabaho, busy tayo sa pagmamarket ng products and services, sa pag-a-analyze ng forecast ng demand, minsan, hindi natin napapansin na nagkakaroon na tayo ng maraming inefficiency sa ating process, maraming waste, at kapag paulit-ulit ito nangyayari, nai-ingrain na to doon sa process natin na nagmumukha na siyang standard, mukhang part na siya ng proseso, pero hindi naman talaga siya part ng proseso. That's why meron tayo dapat na value stream mapping, dinodrawing natin yung buong proseso para makita natin kung ano bang process yung nandyan, pero hindi naman pala kailangan. Kasi again, ang objective natin sa lean operations is to have smooth flow of processes from the supplier to our customer. So, ayan. So, drawing nga daw tayo ng map para makita kung saan dapat may value. Then, we analyze the following. Inventory, overprocessing. So, itong pito na to, ito yung waste na pinag-usapan natin kanina. So, kailangan makita lang natin kung saan may excess, kung alin yung pwedeng tanggalin. Okay. So, important din for us para makapag-improve yung process natin while doing our value stream mapping, yung 5W2H approach. Yung 5W2H approach, yung mga question lang. What, why, where, when, who, how, and how much. So, objective natin dito is alisin yung mga pwedeng alisin. So, again, sabi ko nga kanina, hindi mahal ang lean operations. Mura lang siya. Dahil ang gagamitin mo lang talaga ay kung sino yung mga employees mo. And we have to focus on simplicity and speed. And at the same time, palagi natin tatandaan na in order for us to succeed in eliminating these waste, we must get our hands dirty. Mura lang siya, pero medyo mahirap. Kailangan ng commitment and continuous improvement. So now that we know how lean operations work, what is the importance of lean operations, we transition to a lean system. So, paano ba tayo lilipat to a lean system? So, of course, kailangan nga may commitment galing sa top management mismo. Dahil sila yung magkakasgate pababa sa mga lower ranking employees. Do the value stream mapping para makita kung alin yung pwedeng i-improve. Continuous improvement, commitment, sunod sa lahat ng mga gustong efforts to eliminate the waste, eliminate disruptions, process improvement. So, yun yung mga kailangang importante meron tayo for us to successfully transition to a lean system. But of course, maraming obstruction tayong ma-encounter dahil pwedeng yung management mismo, hindi sila committed kasi feeling nila hindi naman importante kasi ibang culture nating mga Pinoy sa mga Japanese. So, hindi siya madaling ipagawa sa atin kasi yung iba dyan tatama rin, iba dyan walang commitment in general. O minsan naman, yung mga workers talaga natin, hindi cooperative. Minsan, masyado nang strong yung company culture na ang hirap ng palitan. Marirealize nyo yan kapag nagtatrabaho na talaga kayo full-time na merong culture ang isang company na even if you wanted to change it for the better, eh hindi mo magagawa dahil masyado nang ingrained yung old culture sa system ng company. And then, of course, yung mga suppliers natin would, of course, resist. Bakit sila magre-resist? Bakit sila aayaw? Yung iba, ayaw nila na mag-commit ng resources. Ayaw nila ng long-term commitments, yung mga suppliers. Yung iba, feeling nila, kung just-in-time ka, ibig sabihin, onti-onti lang yung pag-request mo ng order, masyado namang nakakapagod for them. And then, hindi rin nila masyadong maplano yung operations nila dahil nakadepende sila sa order natin na just-in-time. So these are just some of the examples why some of our suppliers might resist our objective of doing lean system. But then again, ulitin ko, in order for us to eliminate this waste, we must get our hands dirty. And remember that waste is our enemy. Hindi ang supplier, hindi ang mga employees. Waste is our enemy. So sa ano naman, sa services naman, of course, sa ating services, kahit na services sila, meron pa ring lean services. The goal is the same. Basic goal of the demand flow technology in the service organization is to provide optimum response to the customer with the highest quality service and lowest possible cost. Ganun pa rin, kaparehas lang ng sa manufacturing. And then, merong concept called JIT2 or Just-in-Time version 2. So, ang sinasabi lang dito, meron ng representative yung suppliers natin sa company natin. So, hindi na sila suppliers talaga. Nagiging employee siya ng company. Sinasama natin siya doon sa buong proseso para marerelay agad ng supplier doon sa dati niyang pinagtatrabahuhan kung ano ang plano natin so that we can have appropriate, exact supply on hand just in time when needed. So, yun yung just-in-time version 2. Yung supplier nagiging employee na ng company. And then, ito yung mga benefits of lean operations. Sa dami ng sinabi ko kanina, ito yung mga yon, benefits of lean operations. So, pakibasa na lang pagkatapos natin and pag nag-review kayo later on. So, any other questions? May questions ba? Sana may questions because later at 5 p.m. your quiz number 6 will be available in Google Forms. Deadline of submission will be later tonight at 11:59 p.m. The coverage is only JIT and lean operations. No late submissions will be accepted except if sobrang justifiable ang reason. May mga sumasali kasi sa paligid. Okay, so any questions? Wala ba? Can I see your faces again? Para naman bago tayo mag-goodbye, makita ko kayo. Tsaka para ma-compare ko yung liwanag ng ring light ko sa inyo. Okay, thank you very much for attending. Group 7. Anyone from Group 7 na present pa ngayon? Group 7? May Group 7 ba dito?
Ako po.
Si Rico Hermoso. Okay, magkita tayo ng 4 p.m. Same link. Kasama ni Group 7 yung Group 3 as the critic group later at 4 p.m. Anyone else who would like to join? Pwede. Okay? So, that's it for this afternoon session. Wait for the quiz later.